Welcome to Hamilton Cinemas. I'm going to give you a full movie review of Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's jump right into it. Starting off, I'm just going to give you a very quick summary of the movie. Deadpool has been at peace for a while as there has been no threats. That comes to a halt when the TVA recruits him to basically safeguard the universe. They tell him his universe will become no more because their anchor died, which was Logan. Deadpool then searches for a good Wolverine throughout the multiverse and finds one to complete the mission with to save his world from disappearing, with another threat who comes into play, who is Cassandra Nova. I'm gonna get started with the acting. The acting in the movie is pretty good to me. Most of the actors in this movie have been doing the same superhero roles for like the past 10 years. Like, they have experience with this. Now, some parts did feel natural and some parts just felt like fan service with the lines coming from, certain cameos. Altogether, it just seems like they were all comfortable with each other, having fun out there. I do believe the main actors were giving their all, especially Hugh Jackman. It sort of felt like another good conclusion for him. I do believe nobody was overacting and they gave it their all. The only character I felt like who was there for some lines and appearance was Elektra and, somewhat Blade. He had a line that was great. There's only one Blade and there's ever gonna be one Blade. Now, sounded like a shot to the new Blade and the constant changes in the new Blade script. Overall, I'm gonna give the acting a 9 out of 10. Now let's move on to casting. I do believe all the actors fit their roles perfectly, mostly because they are returning after doing it for so long. I really like how Channing Tatum always wanted to play Gambit, and he got his wish. I could see Paradox being played by like a lot of actors in the industry, as his role was not that hard to overcome. I do feel the same with Cassandra, but I thought the actor nailed that role. Moving on to visuals and animation. The visuals was pretty good. I like how they made the void look like a wasteland. Gives you like a Mad Max type vibe. All of the special effects were pretty good, including Johnny's flame wand. It's been about 17 years since we was able to see that. Even though that scene was only for about 5 minutes, it was pretty good. It was also nice seeing Gambit's powers again since Wolverine Origins. We saw a lot of his card tricks with his magic purple stick. Cassandra Nova animations were pretty sick too. The fingers going all throughout the character's face looks pretty nasty. I'm gonna give visuals a 9 out of 10. Moving on to the characters. The characters in the movie are there either for cameos or have some type of storyline of their own. Deadpool's is basically trying to save his universe. Wolverine's storyline is trying to help Deadpool's universe, hoping his could get revived. Cassandra's storyline is okay. She was stuck in the void and Wolverine and Deadpool come and make it interesting for her. Most of the characters' personalities was different. I do love cameos in movies, but it's not something we already haven't seen before. I give the characters in this movie a 9.5 out of 10. I did this just because it was some really cool variants. Like, there was a comic book accurate Wolverine variant, an Omega Wolverine variant, Wolverine with the patch, there was an old man Logan, there was a crucified Wolverine on a bed of skulls. There was the Wolverine that fights the Hulk. And last but not least, there was the Wolverine called Cavalrine, played by the actor Henry Cavill, as we know, Superman. There was also a shitload of Deadpool variant cameos. That was just a lot. But it was nice seeing Blade, Elektra, Gambit, and X-23 back in there. Moving on to the villain. Cassandra Nova is the sister of Charles Xavier, the leader of the X-Men. She could be very intimidating with the fact that nobody ever stood up to her, and if they did, they are either dead or they escaped. All the mini villains are serving her in the void. I don't think she has a clear motivation other than sitting and waiting for visitors in the void. Her development through the movie is like meh. There's no I'm gonna become a hero or nothing like that towards the end. She is evil as shit and will always be evil as shit. She got blown to pieces for being evil at the end of the movie. I do like how they show her powers though. It showed a lot of screen time with her powers. Overall, I'm gonna give the villain a 7.5 out of 10. Moving on to character development. I think we all should agree Deadpool and Wolverine had the best character development. In the beginning, they really did not like each other and fought twice throughout the movie. It wasn't until the end they know what they had to do and put their differences aside and work together. They both learned how to become a team. I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10 for character development. Moving on to pacing. The movie was nowhere near too fast. The pacing was good, and to be honest, I wanted more even though they put a lot in the movie. Every scene is perfect the way it was. Mwah! I'm gonna give the pacing a 10 out of 10. Moving on to action sequences. The action was magnificent. I mean, the opening scene had action right off the bat. The slow-mos and the action with Wolverine was great. The kills was nice and bloody for hardcore fans of Deadpool and Wolverine. I do like how they made Wolverine a killing machine in this movie. They made him put those claws to work. I give this a 10 out of 10. Moving on to humor. The humor in the movie was good. I love the fourth wall breaking from Deadpool a couple times. The connections with other movies was pretty funny. Of course, Deadpool was the funniest character in there. The humor from the cameos was also pretty funny. Blade had a funny line, which I'm going to say again. There's only one Blade and there's ever gonna be one Blade. I give the humor a 10 out of 10. Moving on with the story. Story-wise, the movie made sense. I mean, Deadpool's universe was dying and needed another anchor. He brought an anchor to his universe with some threats along the way. I mean, it was pretty simple to me. Story-wise, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Moving on to entertainment value. I was definitely engaged throughout the entire movie. No part was too boring, and I didn't even use the bathroom once. I mean, I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to see how everything was going to unravel, and then I did not want to miss any exciting character introductions also, like some of the cameos in the movie. Moving on to length. The length of 2 hours was perfect. I mean, every scene is right there where it's supposed to be. Moving on to the score. The various artists in the movie is hilarious. I mean, the intro was very funny. It was by Bye 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 by NSYNC, which was like a really great opening. I mean, that was pretty good to me. I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. Moving on to the themes. There are two characters who are both haunted with regret and haunted with trauma. I do feel like this can apply to real life as people have the same problems. They overcome this with their friendship towards the end of the movie. The moving on with new things has come into their life. Happy does say something I think a lot of people can relate to. He told Deadpool he was fine with being the middleman and being where he was. I think some people probably felt that because either way they are not where they want to be in a company or in life, or they aren't rich. I mean, I don't know. I do think you should try to be what you want to be. I feel like that really did apply to real life. And let's jump to the conclusion. Overall, I do think this movie was great and it is definitely worth a watch. I saw this movie twice, 2 days straight. Overall, I give it a 9 out of 10. Let me know what you think of the movie and any opinions you have of the movie. If you are able to, can you like and subscribe? I will have a lot more content each week with movie reviews. Thank you for watching.